What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol ACB for Aurora Cannabis. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, let's address the elephant in the room. Huge breakout on Friday's session, all punctuated by really solid volume down below as well. What you'll also notice in terms of location is that we are breaking out of this range. You could look at it as a range doubling play, in which case we've already hit that target, or you could look at this as a larger inverted head and shoulders. Here's your neckline. We break that. Technically, we should travel the length of the head. So let's just quickly eyeball that. That would be the range, and doubling that essentially puts into play about 920. I would say from a structural standpoint, those highs are much more important at around 936. So whether or not we get there all in one go, we'll ultimately have to see. We are coming into a known area of resistance. Not only is it the daily 200 SMA, the green line on the charts here, but also prior support, then flipped as resistance right here at around $8.63. So that's a small concern. I'm not saying the chart's going to get destroyed and do something like this. Could happen, but doesn't look likely based on the volume and the nature of the candle from Friday. Also, big legislation coming out. That's more of a fundamental perspective there, but at least worth mentioning, right? So if we are going to see upward continuation, the breakout is just obviously up above that 863 as mentioned, and then from there, we can get into the 936. What if there's a pullback, though? That's obviously the question that needs to be addressed. Let's come in from the low of Friday's session all the way on up to the high. What you'll notice, 38.2 is coinciding perfectly with a little bit of a shelf of resistance, which led to the breakout into the afternoon session at 825. If you can't tell what I'm talking about, let me clean that up, and we'll throw this on right here. What you'll notice is that we get two back-to-back wicks, maybe three if you want to count that one there, all at that 825. So to me, any pullbacks that come into that would be the 38.2, would be the structural area at 825. So be on the lookout for hammer candles that print, indecision doji candles that print, things that make you question, right? Is the pullback ending? Can you flip long over the highs and then get back up into the 863 and potentially monitor for breakout into that 936? That's how I would think about ACB into the upcoming week. Now, on a breakdown of 825, what do? You sort of step aside. You wait for the dust to settle and see if we ultimately rotate back down into a back test of the neckline, back test of the top end of the overall range from in the past. That's at $7.54. When and if we end up getting there, start to be on the lookout for the same exact things that happen. So hammer candles, indecision dojis, things that, again, just make you generally question, is it starting to turn tides? Are the buyers going to step back in at the top end of the range? Prior resistance turns into new support at $7.54. Worth taking a shot long at that point in time, in my estimation. That's really going to wrap up the video. I guess actually before I go, one last thing. If we do see upward continuation right out of the gates, what I would ideally like to see is elevated volume. Okay, so at least 1 to 1.5 million shares per 30-minute bar does carry this momentum higher into that 936 without a pullback first. If the pullback first happens and we form a bull flag on the daily, fine. You can just wait for the breakout. But if we're going to see big momentum continuation, volume really needs to flow into the stock. And again, that's at least 1 to 1.5 million shares per 30-minute bar for that to happen. So that's going to wrap it up truly this time. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.